Hello, it's time for the Hebrew of the Week, and I'm continuing in Psalm 19. Today we finished the first half of the psalm, which is about nature revealing the glory of God, with verses 5 and 6. Just to remind you where we're at. So the previous verses we did talked about their voice went out in all the land, and in the end of the world their utterance. For the sun, there is a tent in them, that is in the ends of the earth. So the talks about the picture is the sun. The sun goes across the sky every day, like Apollo riding a chariot, as the Greeks thought. But the sun goes the circuit of the sun, and then parks in his tent at the end of the day, off into the west. Starts in the east, ends in the west, riding across the sky like a chariot. Now, of course, chariot is not mentioned here. I'm interjecting that parallel, but that's kind of the image that I get. It's a similar image. It's metaphorical, certainly, not literal. All right, well, let's dive then into chapter Psalm 19, verses 5 and 6. Vahu kakatan yotze me kupato. All right, so vahu. Remember in Hebrew, who is he? He is she, me is who, and dog is fish. So who is he? And he, that is the sun, continuing from the previous verse, he, kakatan, like a bridegroom. So ka is the preposition like or as, and it's a inseparable prefix. That is, it doesn't appear all by its lonesome. It's always attached to the following word. So like a bridegroom, and he like a bridegroom, yotze, going out, meku pato, from his chamber. So it's a bridegroom. Yeah, I'm getting married. He's excited. I got to get out of here. I got to get going. I got to get to that tent. So he's like a bridegroom going out from his chamber. Yotze is a participle. The holum after the first. This is not a performative. That's the actual first letter of the word yatsa, to go out. The holum after the first letter is a telltale sign of the call participle, or the G participle, the basic participle. So this is a G participle, masculine, singular, absolute. He, like a bridegroom going out, me kupato. So the me is from. It's normally min. What happened? It's not a Hirik, it's a Sere. What happened? Well, Kate is a guttural, and she don't do Dublin. And so I always picture it, they tried to shoot the doggish into the next letter, but bang, it bounced off because it was a guttural, and now we've got two dots instead of one, which of course makes sense to me, but to nobody else. But anyway, from his, Holem Vav is his, and then Kafat is chamber, from his chamber. So like a bridegroom going out from his chamber, and we're off. I'm running. That's the first part of the parallelism. And then the second part, Yasis, Ka Gabor, Larutz, Orak. We should go to like a strong man first to get the sense of the. So remember, synonymous parallelism, say it again. So like a bridegroom going out from his chamber, or kagabor, like a strong man to run a race. Winter Olympics are going on right now. Of course, there's not track and field per se, but when the gun goes off and the runners they're off, they're running, they're eager, they want to get there as fast as they can because that's how you win. So the sun is going across the sun like a bridegroom going out of his chamber, headed for that tent, like a strong man will rejoice to run a race. So yasis is the imperfect. There's nothing. I know there's a hirik yod, and so you might think, oh, is that a hifio? No, it's not. In this case, it's just a third masculine singular imperfect call stem, G stem. All right, so like a strong man will rejoice. So there's ka again, like. See the parallelism in the grammar for this synonymous parallelism. To run, so la is to, and then roots, it's got to be an infinitive construct. the other kind of infinitive, the infinitive absolute, doesn't do prepositions. So to run, a needle sewing thread. Oh, anyway, it's not part of the song. All right. Larutz, orach, a race, to run a race. So there's the end of the first verse, verse 5. So, and he, the son, like a bridegroom going out of his chamber, like a strong man will rejoice to run a race. Okay, there you have verse 1. And now verse 6. Mikzeh ha-shamayim. From the end of the skies, from the end of the heavens, from the end of the skies. So this is a min, and you might say, well, what happened to the doubled kof? Well, I think it's an obscure rule that says that if you have, I don't know, actually, I'm not sure why the doubled kof isn't there. There is a rule that says if you have a doubled consonant with a vocal schwa under it, sometimes the dagesh goes away, but I didn't think that was true of a silent schwa, because this is a silent schwa, mik, it closes the syllable. Maybe they did it so that there wouldn't be any confusion. No, I don't know what's going on here. All right. But anyway, it's construct from the end of the heavens. Hey, patak doubling, there's the. All right. From the end of the skies, his goings out are. Okay, that's the first part. The sun, his goings out are from the ends of the sky, because he starts in the east, right? From the end of the skies are, we have to insert the R in there. It's not, there's no word for are his goings out. So here we have hol and vav, there's the his. And then this is yatsa, like we had up here, except when you put I think this is a preposition, the mem on the front. And so that makes the yod become a vav. I think historically it may have been a vav, but you don't have any first vav verbs anymore in Hebrew. So this is, I took this as a participle, his goings out. And there you have it. Now, it could be a noun because historically they're related. The participles that become mem nouns, I believe they're related. But anyway, we get the sense of it. His goings out are from the end of the skies. And then the next bit, uta ku fa to. U-ta-ku fa-to. U-ta-ku fa-to. And his circuit, that u is and. Now, normally you get a sharuk before one of the bump letters, bait, mem, or pei. Tav is not a bump letter, so I'm not 100% sure why it went to sharuk, but we can handle it, right? It's and. His, there's the hol and vav for his. His circuit, this is a long verb, takufa, the circuit. Which again is what is a circuit? A circuit is going round and round and round and round. And his circuit all kazotam, their end. That is, the end of his circuit is the skies. So from the end of the skies are his goings out, and his circuit is to their end. That is, to the end of the skies. He starts off in the one end of the east, and then he ends up at the other end of the west. Va'ain, and there is not. Remember, I talked last verses about there ain't, there is not. And there is not being hidden from his heat. So nothing is hidden from the heat of the sun. The sun sees all, and he's making a list, checking it twice. Oh, okay, that's Santa. Anyway, there is nothing nistar, being hidden. So satar is the word, and then this is a nifal, or an n stem, which is the passive stem, being hidden, and it's a participle. So it's an n participle, again, masculine singular, because it's talking about the sun. There is nothing being hidden, me kamato, from his toe, no, from his heat, kama, from his heat. May is from, again, like up here, we had may with a kate verb, because kate is a guttural. She doesn't do doubling. And so the mem tried to shoot a dagesh in there, and it bounced off, and the one dot became two. That doesn't make any sense, but it does to me. So from his, that is from the sun's, hol and vav, heat. Nothing is hidden from his heat. Reminds me of Hebrews 4, right? The world is exposed and naked before the word of God. Well, this has been the Hebrew of the Week. We have done Psalm 19, verses 5 and 6. Lord willing, we will continue with the second part of the psalm about the law of the Lord next week. The Hebrew of the Week.